Hi everyone, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this super cool woven hearts bracelet, and this was designed by Loomer on Instagram. I will have her name in the description box below, so make sure to check her out on Instagram, give her a follow for me, and I'll also bring up her profile here in just a second. But first I just wanted to show you this bracelet. So to start, you pretty much make one half of the bracelet, clip it, and then make the other half. And I'll be showing you how to do both sides today, just so you know how to do that. And then, yeah, we'll just go ahead and get started. Oops, sorry, I hit thing on the next to me. This is Loomer on Instagram. My phone is not, my tablet's not picking up the pictures very well, but anyway, this is her account, so make sure to go like her photos, give her a follow for me, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to need is a hook. I'm going to use my crochet hook. And you're also going to need a C-clip or two, depending on how you want to work with it. So you only need one to clip it, but because I'm working with two sides and I'm going to be clipping it before finishing it, I'm going to use two C-clips. You're also going to want some bands. I'm going to be using the same color pattern in this bracelet, but you can use any color pattern you like. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So first things first, you're going to grab whichever band is the black sweets in this bracelet. I'm going to be using the new satin evergreen bands. First thing you're going to do is cap one of these bands on your hook, and you're going to pull another of the same color through. You're going to pick up one of those loops. Now you're going to pick up whichever color is the green in this bracelet. I'm going to use the silk white. You're going to pull that through the first two loops and lift the outside one, or whichever loop is not the cap band. Then you're going to take your other green loop again, pull that through, first two, pick up the outside one. Now take your third color, which is Moon Solar in this bracelet. Today I'm using white diamond. Pull this band through the first two, lift the outside one. And then lastly, take one more green band, or it's just white for me today. Pull that through the first two, and lift the outside one. So now you should have 7 total loops on your hook, 6 on this side, right here, and then this one on the other side. You're going to slide it down, turn it around, and you're going to repeat the same process on the other side. Make sure you use the same colors again. So this is a pretty simple step. It's just a fishtail stitch. You're going to add on 4 bands to this side. Okay. Now once you have done that, we're going to go ahead and take all of these white bands in here. So we're going to take 6 of these white diamond bands. I'm going to grab 6 of those. And we're going to go ahead and pull 1 band through every 2 loops. So you can do this however you like. I'm just going to take my diamond band, pull it through these 2 loops, and close. You're not picking anything up for this step. Take my next band, I'm going to pull it through the first 4. Then I'm going to grab these outer 2, and then I'm going to rearrange those, and take my third band through the first 6, then reclaim the outer 4 because those are the bands that we attached earlier. They're just like before we added this one, I guess. I've done that, so I'm going to slide it down to the other side and repeat the process. Pulling that through the first 2 bands. You can also take this band off just to pull another band on, but I just prefer to keep them on and pick them back up after I've finished pulling my bands through, but whichever way is easiest for you. Okay. So now you should have 12 loops on your hook, just in a bit of a different arrangement. It should look something like this. And now you're going to go ahead and cross the bands over whichever way you want. I'm going to take this second band and cross it over the third, just like so. I'll take this band, cross it over here. And you don't have to do this right now, you can do it when you pull the bands through, but just make sure that when you do this, that your bands all cross the same way. So I'm just going to start by pulling my band through here. So you're going to grab whichever band is this Black Sweets. So I'm using my evergreen band. I'm going to pull it through these first two, making sure that this is crossed over. Now I'm going to grab another white loop. It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to grab another white loop. And again, making sure that this band is crossed over. Pull it through these 4 loops, and then just lift the outer 2. And then crossing this band here, and then I'll grab these 2. This will be another white band. I'm going to lift these outer 4. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side, so go ahead and turn this around. And because these bands are all crossing over in this direction, I'm going to keep that going across this other direction. So I'm actually going to cross the third band over the second, just to keep it all aligned. Then I'll cross this band over here as well. So again, taking your evergreen band, you're going to pull that through the first 2, making sure that they are crossed. Then you'll take 2 more white bands, pull this one band through the first 4, make sure they're crossed, pick up the outer 2, and another white band through the first 6. Make sure that all of your bands stay on the correct side of the bracelet. And you're going to pick up those outer 4. So once you have all of this, what you're going to do is take these very center 2 bands and cross them. So I'm going to cross mine the same way I did this row. Crossing that. And we're only going to cross those 2. Now we're going to take a white band. We're going to pull this white band through these first 6 loops and close. So you're not going to pick anything up from this point. You're going to go ahead and slide it down to the other end. Do the same thing. Take one of your white bands through the first 6 loops and reattach. At this point you'll have 4 loops on your hook, and now you can take your last green band here, pull that through the first 3 loops. You're going to lift up that outer 1, and you can clip it off here if you want to just make it like a pendant. You can continue making it a bracelet. The extension she used is a 3-pin dragon scale, so I'll show you quickly how to do that. But then I'll show you how to do the other side in case you missed that. So for the rest of the dragon scale, I'll be using plain white diamond bands. So I'll pull the band through the first 2. And then to save myself time, I'm just going to pull it through the first 4. And lift these outside 2, but you could turn it around as well. And then take another band through the middle 2, and then rearrange that outer 1. Show you one more time. You'll take your white band through the first 2, then you can turn it around or just do this, pull that through all 4 and lift the outer 2, and then pull a band through the first 3, lift the outer 1, and you'll continue this until it's about halfway around your wrist, or you can tie it off here and continue your dragon scale after. I'm going to pull my band through these 4 and take one of my C-clips and attach it to this end. It's kind of off camera, but I hope you guys know how to attach a C-clip. So once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and start on the other side. So pretty much what you're going to do here is flip this bracelet so you can see the cap band. You're going to stick your hook back through these cap band loops, and we can organize it so that the X is facing out later. But we're going to repeat the same process on this side. So I'm going to take a evergreen band, or an evergreen band, pull this through these 2 loops, lift up one of the loops, put that on, take one of my white silk bands through the first 2, lift the outside one, and I'm going to keep the pattern the same on this side as well. Taking another evergreen band through the first 2, lift the outside one, white diamond band through the first 2, lift the outside one, and lastly a white silk band through the first 2, lifting the outside one. So you're going to add those 4 bands on and turn this around to the other side. I'm going to take this loop off and grab the other cap band loop. I'm going to take my white band through the first 2, lift the outside one, and continue with this fishtail stitch. So add 4 bands to each side, just like so. Now we're going to do the white diamond bands, We're going to take this band through the first 2 loops and close it. Take this next band through the first 4, lift the outside 2, or you can just pull those first 2 off if you want. Take your 3rd band through the first 6, lift the outer 4, and rearrange. Now go ahead and pull this down to the other side and turn it around. A band through the first 2, a band through the first 4, lift the outer 2, and lastly a band through the first 6, lift the outer 4. Okay, so once you've done this, you can cross your bands whichever way you want. Because this is upside down, it doesn't really matter which way you cross it. If you want, you can keep it the same way. I'm just going to cross my bands the same way I did before. So take the 2nd band over the 3rd, and this band keeps wanting to cross over. I'm going to take this band, 4th band, over the 5th. Okay, so I'm just going to work with this for now. Take a satin evergreen band, pull this through the first 2 loops, making sure those bands are crossed, and reattach. Now grab your white diamond band, pull that through the first 4, again make sure your bands are crossed, reclaim those outer 2, and then pull a band through the first 6, except you might want to cross that band. Oops, hold on. Let me fix that. So, I can't remember which way I crossed them. It looks like I crossed them this way. Alright. Cross this band over. Now pull a band through the first 6 and reclaim the outer 4. So this can get a little bit difficult. When you're crossing your bands, you just kind of forget which way you crossed them like I did. So just make sure that when you do cross them, you either cross them all at once, or just remember which way you did that. So next, I'm crossing this over, and crossing this over. Now take satin band through the first 2, take a white diamond band through the first 4, lift those outer 2, and lastly take a white band through the first 6, lift the outer 4. So if you did this, hopefully all your bands are across the same direction. Then you can take these center 2, just cross one over the other. It doesn't really matter, but for the sake of neatness, I'm going to cross them the same way I did in the previous row. Now take your white band through the first 6, and just reattach it. Don't reclaim any bands. Take your second white band, flip it around, pull that through the first 6, and reattach. Now you'll have 4 bands on your hook. You're going to take your last white band, or your white silk band, through the first 3, lift that outer 1, and then you can do your dragon scale. So I'm going to pull a band through the first 2, band through the first 4, lift the outer 2, and then a band through the middle 2, lift the outer 1. I'll do this one more time. Band through the first 2, band through the first 4. You can also turn this around and just do a band through the first 2 again. Then you'll take one more band through the first 3 and lift the outer 1. And it's up to you how long you want to make this to measure your wrist, but I'm just going to stop mine here. And because it's not long enough to fit around my wrist yet, I'll take another C-clip and attach it to this band. Again, it's kind of off camera, but hopefully you can attach a C-clip. So pretty much that's what it's going to look like. It's just going to be a bit longer, so it'll fit around your wrist. And then you'll take one of these C-clips off and just attach it to the other end. But make sure that you do have a C-clip on this end, because these will fall apart if you don't. So anyway, if the X isn't where you want it or the bands are twisted, you can just turn it around. The both sides of the bracelet are the same, so it doesn't really matter. But that is going to do it for this video, so thank you for watching. Make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe. I will have CN Loomer's name in the description box below, so make sure to check her out on Instagram, give her a follow for me. But that is going to do it for this video, so I hope to see you next time.